Hey guys, welcome back to Carib 21 Network. So we are getting some information coming out of Trinidad and Tobago that two young fishermen lost their life on Tuesday on one of the Trump administration new strike on what they're calling drug boat in the Caribbean Sea. So this news is coming out of Trinidad and Tobago that two young fishermen lost their lives.
Family members of a young man from Trinidad and Tobago says he was killed in a recent U.S. military attack on a boat in the Caribbean this week. The family says 26-year-old Chad Joseph was a simple fisherman. He went to Venezuela 6 months ago to find better work because he had relatives there. The family claims he died in a strike on Tuesday. Joseph's cousin, Afisha Clement, spoke out about her pain.
Donald Trump take a father, a brother, an uncle and nephew from families. Donald Trump don't care what he do, you know. He just targeting one thing in Venezuela. And he's saying it's drug cartels. It's not that. It's not that. Donald Trump, you need to stop your shit and stop killing innocent people.
This news coming out of Trinidad and Tobago is very sad, but it's not like I can sit here and pretend that we didn't know that this was going to happen. A lot of people have been warning about this day, that this day could come when innocent people would end up losing their life out in the Caribbean Sea. We saw the fishermen a couple of weeks ago did an interview on a local TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, and the fishermen were worried, talking about they're not able to go deep sea fishing anymore because of what is going on in the Caribbean Sea. And for the people that support this, how do you feel now? What do you tell that family that is losing a son, a father, an uncle? What do you say to that family now? What is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago going to say to that family when she is 10 toes down supporting this nonsense in the Caribbean Sea? And now we're seeing this. And trust me, as I said, a lot of warning. We have been warning that something like this could happen. And God forbid that something like this could happen to like a cruise ship. Hundreds of cruise ships sail the Caribbean Sea on a daily basis. And what is going to happen now, which we have spoken about already, two things could happen. We could see a massive cut this winter tourist season with cruise ship coming into the Caribbean, because who is going to want to be on a cruise ship in the Caribbean Sea when they know that American Navy and the military is out there bombing boats? And that is something to look forward to in the winter tourist season, that we're going to see that a lot of the Caribbean islands are going to be complaining about the lack of cruise ship going into the Caribbean. Because we have been talking about this from day one, and this has nothing to do with drugs and gun coming out of the Caribbean Sea. This has nothing to do with that. And a lot of questions that we have been asking, and there's no answer really coming from the Trump administration. Why not do the regular procedure that the Navy, the Coast Guards would normally do? Why not arrest these guys? Why not video evidence all of these things that you're claiming that's going on in the Caribbean Sea? The 20-odd people that were killed already, where are their names? The American Armed Force is supposed to be the most sophisticated in the world. Where is the intelligence? We have not seen names of these people. We have not heard of any body. We have not seen any drugs. No evidence at all coming out of this White House. And a reporter asked Donald Trump this question yesterday, and this is the most ridiculous answer I've ever heard from a president of the United States of America.
Asked why he's striking the boats instead of using traditional Coast Guard operations where officers can verify who is on the boat, Trump saying the Coast Guard boats are too slow.
They have faster boats. Some of these boats are they're world-class speedboats, but they're not faster than missiles.
So far, the administration has provided limited details and no evidence to prove that the 27 people killed were attempting to traffic drugs to the U.S. as they claim.
So there's a 1 in 4 chance, statistically speaking, that one of these boats may not have had any drugs on it. We will never know because they were blown to smithereens.
So my question is for those who supported this from day one, saying that this is going to help crime and violence in Trinidad and Tobago and in extension the wider Caribbean. about this idea of war on drugs in the Caribbean Sea. And the thing that is crazy about this, because historically the Caribbean, we never have a problem with drugs. The Caribbean never have an overwhelming problem with drugs. Yes, there are people that smoke weed and do all these other stuff, but the Caribbean, for decades, the Caribbean have always been like a transshipment route. So we have never really had like an epidemic that we see in America, that we see in Canada. We have always been that transshipment route. The problem that we have in the Caribbean is the problem with illegal firearms coming into the Caribbean, and that problem is an American problem. So if America said nothing, the Trump administration have said nothing so far in terms of helping the Caribbean with illegal firearms coming into the Caribbean. Our problem is not drugs. Our problem is illegal firearm. So for those people who are just delusional enough to think that this is going to help us, I don't know what you're thinking. And now we're seeing people in the Caribbean now, we're seeing people becoming victims. As I've said before, this could have a negative impact on the Caribbean. We could see the price of fish skyrocketing. We could see what we're trying to do with the regional ferry system. We could see that delay because of this. We could see a shortage in cruise ship coming into the Caribbean for this winter tourist season, all because of this fake war on drugs. Because every single media in America have reported that if there's anything coming through Venezuela, it's less than 10%. Less than 10%. Overwhelmingly, the New York Times, every credible journalist, article, media outlet out there, every credible media outlet out there have come out and said, like, look, majority fentanyl, majority of drugs coming from Colombia, coming from Mexico, coming from China, and not from Venezuela. Venezuela is not the problem that the Americans have when it comes on to drugs. And this is just crazy that people are still buying into this nonsense. And now we're seeing victims because of this whole war on drugs. So guys, sound off in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this. What do you think about this story coming out this week about the two young fishermen that lost their life because of the recent bombing of the boat? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.